Imprinting is a simple yet profound and highly effective learning process which occurs in a critical period in the life of some animals. A critical period is a genetically predetermined developmental phase in which the organism is extremely sensitive to stimuli from the environment. The particular stimuli provided at that point will have a major and permanent impact upon the animal's behavior.
About imprinting mechanism, it is either a social or an affective attachment process. The goal in imprinting is to recognize the species to which we belong. Imprinting is both a learning but also an instinct. It helps in order to predict future behavior in the animal.
Konrad Lorenz is the first person who described imprinting mechanism. He was an Austrian ethologist, one of the most famous personalities in modern ethology. He studied many instinctive behaviors in animals. He won the Nobel Prize in Physiology in 1973.
For Lorenz, imprinting might be a proof that behaviorists are wrong. Imprinting is also an innate instinct and it evolves even after the extension of the behavior. It is one of the survival mechanisms which have been part of our evolution. It is important to understand that imprinting can only happen during the precise moment that we call critical period. That means that imprinting cannot be done after this period, during the first day of life. If the imprinting had been done in the wrong species, it will stay even low.
One of the well-known examples of imprinting is filial imprinting. It is a process observed in some birds, such as chickens and ducks, whereby a social attachment is established between a young animal and an object that is typically, although not necessarily, apparent. During a perinatal sensitive period, the young animal learns the characteristics of the imprinting stimulus simply by being exposed to it and will subsequently recognize and selectively approach this stimulus.
Imprinting is a quick acquisition, but has long-term effects. Lorenz found that imprinting mechanism was irreversible, although not all ethologists think that way. Imprinting might be awakened lately, it might exist but already in a latent form.
Moreover, in artificial conditions, animals of different species can form a close connection with one another that would be unlikely in the wildlife, which might also be viewed as a result of some sort of imprinting. For example, this hippopotamus named Owen was separated from his family during a tsunami and rescued by the staff of a nature park. While he was still a baby, this hippo met a 130-year-old turtle named Bzi and became close friends with him. Another famous example is that some species of birds mate for life. When the bird is a young adult in the critical period of mate selection, the very first mate that it has becomes imprinted. After that point, no other bird will be considered an acceptable mate. Even if the original mate dies, the bird will not seek or accept a new mate. Such species include owls, geese, eagles, and swans.
But what about humans? There is no consensus in scientific community on the mechanism of human imprinting. What we know for sure is that the human infant is not capable of such complex behavior as following its mother as birds or clinging to its mother as monkeys. An example of a similar fixed action pattern in humans is a smile, which is the result of imprinting a parent and establishing an emotional bond with him. This was first discussed by American psychologist Philip Gray in 1958. In his work he distinguished the time frame of the imprinting sensitive period from 6 weeks to 6 months, as well as the end result, fear of a stranger. Imprinting in humans helps us to identify our own and strangers from the first month of life. Mary Ainsworth's research has shown that the result of imprinting in infancy influences attachment style and social behavior in adulthood. In addition to the imprinting of newborns, modern psychologists distinguish the following types of imprinting. Emotional motor imprinting appears when the child masters the skill of independent walking and determines the formation of such traits in the baby as strength or weakness of character, stubbornness or obedience, self-confidence or anxiety. Social imprinting. It is manifested in ethnic stereotypes, principles, and values of human interaction. This example can be considered advertising. The use of Coca-Cola drink in the New Year's Eve advertising led to the fact that many people began to associate this holiday not only with tangerines, but also with this drink. Sexual imprinting has a significant influence on the choice of a future partner and the formation of sexual tastes. It is typical for many people to look for a second half similar to the parent of the opposite sex. This type of imprinting is the basis of monogamous relationships. In the same way, things that evoke vivid experiences during first sex can determine what a person will enjoy.